Hello and welcome to this short tutorial on how to create and send reports in KellyDown. Before you can send emails from within the KellyDown application, you have to first configure KellyDown with your outgoing mail server information. If you have a Microsoft Outlook email account, you can go to the administration menu, select System Settings and just check on the box that says Use Default Outlook Account. You can then test the settings to make sure that KellyDown can recognize your Outlook email account. If you don't have an Outlook email account, you first have to enter an email address for whichever account you're using in KellyDown. So click on the Cancel button for the system settings and then go to the administration menu, Manage User Accounts. Click on your account and then click on the Edit button, and then enter your email address, and then click on the OK button and the Close button. Now when you open the administration system settings, you can enter information about your outgoing mail server. The easiest way to do this is to use the information that you can see on your mobile phone for your email server. So enter the username, the password, and the host name for your mail outgoing server. Finally, enter your server port, which by default is normally 587, and then click on the Test Settings button. And if all the settings are correct, KellyDown will respond with a confirmation message. If there are one or two people that you routinely send reports or exported data to, you can enter their email addresses at the bottom right. Then, when you create a report or export data, you have the option of clicking on a single button to send that report or that exported data directly to one of these email recipients. For this demonstration, we're going to enter our supervisor and our geologist's email accounts. Before we start to produce some actual reports, let's look at some of the options available to us in the reports. So go to the Tools menu and click on Options. Under the display options, you'll see options that affect the display of certain elements of a report. You can show map coordinates as plus or minus values instead of with the appended north, east, south or west. You can show geographical coordinates in decimal degrees instead of degrees, minutes and seconds. And there are several other options that affect the display on reports. Under the Reports Options tab, you'll be able to set what elements are shown on fly sheets, as well as some of the other elements in the reports. At the bottom of the Report Options tab, you can set the frequency of records that are shown when you select the Smart Interpolation interval for proposal reports. For example, for straight sections, you wouldn't want to see as many records as you would for very large dogleg sections. There are many report formats and export formats in KellyDown, and more are added as different clients request different formats. This could tend to clutter up the list in drop-down boxes when you're printing a report or exporting data. So there's an option here under the Selections tab to deselect any reports that you never ever want to see in the drop-down list. So for example, if you never wanted to see the combo report, you can uncheck that box. If you hover the mouse over any of the listed reports, you'll see the columns that are included in that report. And the same with export formats. If there are any export formats that you don't need to see in the drop-down lists, just uncheck them. And once again, you can see the list of columns when you hover the mouse over each export format. So click on the OK button to save the options. There are many types of reports available in KellyDown. Some of them are accessible from the main KellyDown screen, like the project report, which lists the structures, the wells, the surveys and proposals, and all the targets that exist inside a KellyDown project. The structure report lists all the wells, surveys and proposals, targets, and a slot layout for the current structure. So each report has an optional fly sheet. For the structure report, we only have one structure in this particular example. It lists all the wells that exist for that structure, all the profiles, that exist under that structure and all the targets that exist under that structure. And at the end there's a schematic of the well layout. Some reports are available from within the survey editor or the proposal editor. So if you go into a well plan design, click on the report button, you'll see the proposal report options. You can select the format for the report from the drop down list at the top, and then whether you want the report interpolated or not, the start measure depth and the end measure depth, and the vertical section. Every report has an optional fly sheet, and you have the option of listing the comments associated with the proposal, the casing program, the formation tops, the survey tool program, and the active targets. And at the end you have an optional north reference information. So let's look at this particular report. The first page is usually a fly sheet, and it lists the surface coordinates for the well and the Kelly bushing elevation above certain datums as set in options. This particular report is the proposal report and shows the general columns of information: measure depth, inclination, azimuth, vertical depth, northings, eastings and vertical section. And then where there is a change in dogleg, it shows the dogleg rate, the build rate and the turn rate, and finally the tool face azimuth. If there are comments associated with the proposal, those are listed underneath the data. And then any casing program that exists for the proposal, the formation tops, the survey tool program, and any targets that are associated with the proposal. And then at the end there is a north reference report that shows the wellhead coordinates, the magnetic parameters, and how to convert true north to magnetic north to grid north. And it also includes a diagram showing the different north references. The controls for the report preview are quite simple and self-explanatory. The toolbar contains all the controls that are available. You can print the report to a printer, save the report as a PDF file, a Word file, or as a JPEG image, or you can use the buttons here to navigate through different pages of the report. You can view thumbnails, select the page view, the page width view, or zoom to an actual size. Click on the red email button to send the report directly to the primary email address that was defined under System Settings. Or click on the green email button to send the report directly to the secondary email address that was defined in System Settings. Thank you for watching this tutorial.